He thought he had finally solved the mystery of why turtles move at a snail's pace, but what happened next turned into a humbling reality check. Determined to find out for himself, he decided to strap a giant shell-like weight onto his back and experience it firsthand. The second he dropped to his hands and knees and tried to move, his arms instantly buckled under the pressure. That's when it hit him. Carrying an entire house on your back isn't just slow, it's brutal. So, do you think you could do it? This guy built his own ecosystem fish tank for almost nothing, and honestly, it's genius. It solves the entire fish waste problem by turning it into natural fertilizer for plants. All he used was a 5-gallon bucket, a spigot, and a filter. With this setup, the fish stay healthy, and you almost never need to do a water change. It's a low-maintenance, super clever way to keep fish at home.
Slip a metal ring onto this plant, and it'll grow into something way more useful than you'd ever guess. As the gourd keeps getting bigger, the ring slowly molds it into a fixed shape. Once it's fully mature, the gourd gets carefully cut down, and its outer skin is shaved smooth. What's underneath is a texture that really only shows its true look after dark. A hole is drilled at the bottom so all the inner contents can be cleaned out totally clean. What's left is a tough gourd shell sturdy enough for carving without caving in. That's why they carve beautiful patterns on the surface and drill tiny holes all around it. This lets the light inside shine through in perfect shaped rays. Finally, mount the gourd on a piece of driftwood, and it turns into a one-of-a-kind handmade lamp. When other kids are enjoying themselves playing badminton on the court, this little girl busies herself collecting shuttlecocks that have fallen onto the ground. Her family is very poor, so she does this work to support her parents and afford everyday living costs. She earns a small amount of money each month from this job, keeping her family going day by day. Life has never been easy for her, but she still keeps working hard every single day with no complaints. This little girl works so hard, how many likes do you think she deserves? This man was spreading his best friend's ashes in their favorite field to grant his final wish, but then something totally unexpected happened. His horse and his friend's horse both slowly started stepping backward, like they could sense some kind of presence nearby. Suddenly the horses took off, running freely all across the field, moving just as if an invisible someone was riding along with them. If this moment touched your heart, leave a like. A group of kids were sent into a massive giant device to take part in a fun challenge. The rules were straightforward. The first kid to escape walks away with $1,000. Many kids tried escaping one after another, but none of them made it out successfully. Everyone was convinced the boy wearing blue would be the winner, but there was another boy no one even noticed. He lived in a poor household, and his mom was sick. He needed the money desperately more than all the other kids. He applied the knowledge he'd learned in school, quickly found the critical clue, and escaped in only a few seconds. But right after that, the teacher said there was one more rule to get the prize. The video had to reach 10,000 likes. This iconic moment would have gone unseen if the girl didn't record it on time. She found a green insect hanging out on her chair for a long time and started filming. Turns out, the bug was facing the other way and having a little dance party. Once it caught sight of her, it turned around and danced extra hard, totally trying to go viral. Sadly, this hilarious clip still has 0 likes. Make sure to like and subscribe. These firefighters got stuck on a weird rescue mission to fish a giant capybara out of a sewer pipe. They used special tools to drill through the upper cover and finally cracked it open. 2 workers lifted the heavy lid up, but this stubborn capybara refused to come out. One firefighter tried pulling it free, yet the capybara went full defensive mode instantly. It thrashed around wildly and clumsily fell right back down into the sewer again. After a tough struggle and some human help, it got dragged out at last and set free. This girl decided to hunt down the actual Monkey King. She put the crown on the first monkey, but it looked like he wanted no part of that heavy duty, so she headed for monkey number 2. Right when she was gonna set the crown on him, she caught herself looking super greedy, so she stepped back at once. Next up was the third monkey, and he didn't seem excited one bit, kept his cool and stayed modest. In that instant, she knew she'd found the perfect candidate. This dog grows really concerned every time his mom cries, yet his reaction is completely different when his dad cries. When mom is feeling sad, the dog feels sorrowful as well. He carefully lays his head against her to comfort her, and if she continues crying, he will even bring his favorite toy to brighten her mood. But when dad cries, he seems not to care one bit. He makes no effort to comfort him. Instead, he playfully hits him with a toy. If dad attempts to hold the toy, the dog quickly takes it back and runs to his bed, as if he wants nothing to do with this emotional scene. This senior monkey may very well be the most adorable little animal in the world. A kind man feeds him and his mother monkey at home every day. The man brings over a sweet potato and peels it gently and carefully, since monkeys aren't fond of sweet potato skins either. Just watch how cute the old monkey looks as he waits quietly. His mother is always keeping an eye on him from behind. When the man finishes peeling, he tries a bite himself first, then gives the sweet potato to the monkey. The monkey munches on it with pure joy. It's such a sweet scene. Why does it only have 2 likes?
This little girl wanted to lead the horse away with her, but suddenly the reins got tangled around her leg. For a moment, it felt a little risky, and she didn't know what to do. She tried to untangle them herself, but couldn't manage it. Just then, her father stepped in and calmly guided her with patience and care. In the end, she finally got free, took hold of the reins, and proudly walked away with the horse. A small moment, but a big lesson. Why would someone put thousands of live fish into such small glass bottles? At first, it looks completely unreasonable, but this is actually a betta fish farm in Thailand. There are about 100,000 bottles, and each one contains a single betta fish. Workers cut holes into the bottles by hand, then blast high-pressure water inside to clean them in seconds. And somehow, they still have to feed each fish individually. The whole process is incredibly exhausting. The reason behind it is that betta fish are extremely aggressive, and if kept together, they will fight until one of them is gone. Did you know elephants are super smart? If you give them a banana, they'll just open their mouth and eat it right away. But if you give them a coconut, they'll pick it up, put it in their mouth, but they won't eat it. They know it hasn't been peeled yet, so they pull it back out, stomp it with their foot to crack it open, and then enjoy the inside. This guy tried to make a special meal for his dog. He started with fresh meat, but none of them wanted it, so he added an egg. Still nothing. Then he put in some flour, and the dogs just kept smelling it like critics. So he mixed everything into one piece, shaped like a nugget. Since they were clearly hungry, he baked it and poured sauce on top. Finally, they all started eating like they had been waiting forever, and somehow, they still didn't get a like from you.
This girl showed an otter a bowl filled with ice because he wanted to see it up close. The moment the otter noticed, it ran straight to her window. He pressed his tiny nose against the glass and stretched as far as his little paws could. They were too short to reach the ice, so the girl picked up a piece herself. This time the otter grabbed it and happily started munching on his little ice cream treat. Still cute. Still 0 likes and subscribes. Of course. These twin sisters were playing with their cart. They saw their grandpa struggling down a dangerous hill. He was carrying heavy pumpkins on his back. They felt sorry seeing him work so hard. They decided to carry the pumpkins with their cart. Grandpa loaded the pumpkins one by one. The sisters pulled the full cart back home. They only wish for one kind comment in return. This kid saw some ducklings and thought, yeah, they need infrastructure. Built them a tiny water park with pipes, a platform, and a slide. Now they're sliding and splashing like they own the place. Meanwhile, I can't even get my plants to stay alive. This duckling adventure deserves a like, mostly out of pure jealousy. This dog is absolutely obsessed with water, and every time his owner takes him out for a swim, he starts yelling and bouncing all over the place. Even though it looks like something's wrong, he's actually just way too excited and completely can't control himself. People nearby keep staring, looking totally confused, trying to figure out what's going on, but then it all makes sense. The moment his owner lets go, he rushes straight toward the dock, and while everyone clears the way, he's already locked in, ready to pull off his best move.
This man took his handsome dog's favorite collar off its neck and put it on the other dog instead. Instantly, the jealous pup was not having it and angrily demanded the collar hanging around the man's neck too. Trying not to upset his dramatic little star, the man carefully removed the collar from his own neck and handed it over. The dog grabbed it in its mouth, trotted over to the child, and offered it to him so he could put it back where it belonged. The child smiled and placed the collar around the dog's neck. The happiness in the dog's eyes was impossible to miss. It had finally gotten its favorite collar back. But seriously, why does this adorable dog only have 2 likes?
Look at this little boy riding around the street. He spots a cake from afar and slams on his brakes right away. He yanks off the number 8 topper and takes a big bite out of it without hesitation. The shop owner instantly loses it and starts yelling at him out of nowhere. The boy stays calm, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a number 9, and quietly swaps it in place. Little does the owner know, he's no longer 8, he just turned 9 years old every single year. He uses this weird but genius trick to celebrate his birthday in his own way. The woman found the smartest monkey in the forest and glued little wood pieces onto its arm. The monkey removed them immediately. Then she pulled baby tomatoes from her bag and started pelting the monkey with them. The monkey nearly choked but kept eating. In fact, she was shoving tomatoes directly into its mouth because she couldn't keep up with its speed. Finally, the monkey was full. When he realized she wouldn't stop, he ran away. He even remembered to grab a few tomatoes on the way out. So why did this adorable, traumatized monkey only get 2 likes? This red panda has this big tough guy persona. He practices body slamming daily, training hard to take on his pals. But when a real face-off happens, he's the one who gets body slammed. The zookeeper immediately steps in to break them up. Yet this mischievous red panda runs back again just to tease his friend with a funny little hip dance. Soon after, he cranks out pull-ups like he's scheming payback. Then he figures out being tough is just way too exhausting, and he'd rather go take a cozy long nap. This dog lives with an uncommon stomach problem that slows down its normal digestion. Mealtime rules are strict for it, only a special chair can stop it from getting nauseous. Early on, the owner was forced to guide and place it in the chair for every feeding. Over time, this intelligent dog memorized the process and handles it all independently. Once it catches sight of its bowl, it marches to its spot and sits down automatically. It stays poised and ready, following its own little mealtime routine perfectly. Even with such admirable self-discipline, this good boy gets 0 likes online.